Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Brett is again on the camera helping me remember what day of the week it is. Thank you, Brett. So thank you for joining us on this odder day. I have a lot going on right now, so I wanted to make sure I got in the live Q&A before this coming weekend for the 2021 Lexus LS 500. It's a big stately sedan competing with the BMW 7 Series and the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the Genesis G90 and a few others. What did I want to first address? First, I wanted to address the folks who have joined for YouTube's memberships and Patreon patrons. Thank you so much to Ed Mark Starr, who jumped up to the highest level. He's a team manager, and then we've got Elier Olivos, who is a co-driver, and Antoine Driver, who is a member. Thank you guys so much for joining. Your support means so much. One, it just tells me that you like what I'm doing, you like the cars I'm bringing you, you like the presentation. That's all important, but it also just helps me do what I love doing. So thank you so much. And then I'm going to get to first the folks who asked the questions on YouTube's community page and on Instagram, where I posed the question early. If you want to follow me at Instagram, or at MilesPerHr on Instagram, and TikTok, at MilesPerHr, same deal. And now, without further ado, let's get into the Lexus LS 500. Brett, what is our first question?
Okay, Uber Lyft asks, does it have sun visors?
Does it have sun visors? Great question. So yes, Uber Lyft, it does have sun visors. So let me hop in and I'll start it up. And of course, we've got these sun visors, which come down and pull over. We also have a suede headliner, which is very nice, and they do slide. So that's all good. And then we've got more sunshades in the back. So you can press this button here on the center, and it's going to raise up these shades. Here, let's open up this back door. So you'll actually be able to see. So first it's going to raise up the shade that's in the all the way back. So you have that shade, and then if I pull up these buttons, I have additional shades that come up for the back windows. So now you're fully shaded in the back, Uber Lyft. Come ride with me. Actually, if you watch my POV ride, you can ride with me. Great plug, Miles, for the new segment of POV Ride. So watch that for the LS 500. I've already got that up. The walk around and POV drive are coming later. Next question.
Naveen the Machine asks, how's the 24-inch head-up display?
24-inch head-up display is insane. So Brett, you're gonna have to sit in the driver's seat to actually see this. But the head-up display is the wildest head-up display I've ever seen. Look how wide that thing is, and it covers so much information. You've got your lane keeping assist, driver assistance features. You've got, what's that off to the left? Can't actually see that. Compass off to the left, and then on the right, you've got your tachometer and speed. So, and if you're driving on a road with a posted speed limit, it'll pop up there. And first of all, guys, thanks. Anyone who's joining on YouTube, I will get to your questions a bit later. First, I'm answering the questions from Instagram and YouTube's community page. So yes. All right, so that's the 24-inch head-up display. Wild. I've seen big ones on like the Yukon Denali, but that's another level. So crazy.
Venti Times asks, is it really as long as it looks?
Yes, Venti Times. This thing is definitely as long as it looks. It's over 17 feet long, which, speaking of the Cadillac, or no, I said Yukon, it's just a couple inches shorter than that full-size 3-row SUV. This thing is massive. It's just like a yacht. It is literally a land yacht just cruising through. It's crazy. But that says luxury, right? Big and grand. That's the LS 500. Next question.
Blake asks, was it a good idea to make the LS look identical to the ES exterior-wise?
Okay, let's go to the front end while we're talking about this. Was it a good idea to make the LS look pretty much identical to the ES exterior-wise? Asked Blake. And I think that certainly so like many other brands, you want continuity through your model range. So like BMW tries to make a 3 Series look like the 5 Series, look like the 7 Series to certain degrees. Lexus, I would say even more so, to your point, Blake, makes the LS look like the ES, which is their mid-size. It's mid-size sedan. Whereas the ES doesn't look exactly like the LS. So I think that is not necessarily a mistake. I think it's a good sign for folks who can only afford the ES or are shopping that market, who may want the grandeur of the LS but don't have the budget for it, which is like $78,000 to start. This one's $103,000 as tested. I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was, it perhaps diminishes the specialness of the LS to a small degree, but when you see this thing on the road and you see just how long it is, you're never going to confuse the two. So as you drive up to it, when you see it, and it's sort of like, if you've ever seen Spaceballs, where they're just making a mockery of Star Wars, where you're just seeing the Death Star go over, where you're seeing this, whatever their spaceship's called, and it just keeps going forever. So if you're like driving up next to a sedan, and it's a Lexus model, and you just keep driving and you're still seeing the car, it's going to be the LS. It's not going to be the ES. That was a really long, drawn-out way of answering that question, and it made sense in my head. Brett is just mocking me right now. What's the next question?
Sandy Patrol asks, how does it feel to drive?
How does it feel to drive? Well, we will get into driving in a bit, but the air adaptive suspension on this is fabulous. It's one of the best riding cars I've ever been in, and that includes Rolls Royces and Bentleys and all that. It's so floaty that if you're thinking, why would I spend the money on a somewhat, in small ways, outdated product, it would be for the ride quality and for the comfort. It's silent in this cabin, and it's so comfortable. The seats are amazing, they're so supportive, and yeah, the ride is tremendous. So that's really where your money's going. Just things I'm going to point out right now. This one has the triple beam LED headlights and then the spear hooked daytime running lights, which is super cool. Are they on right now? No, they're not. I'm going to turn them on. They're going now?
Yeah.
Cool. Those are the spear hooked daytime running lights, which are pretty sweet. Very signature move now for Lexus. You see these on all their vehicles. And then the giant spindle grille, which doesn't look as crazy on something this big. It looks pretty wild on like the IS, but not so much on the LS. Next question.
Next question is from Ivan. What does it lack for the price?
What does it lack? That's a great question, Ivan Espinosa. What does it lack for the price? I think when you're getting into the technology, that's really where the LS falls short of its German rivals. So we'll show the interior again, because this is really where this is where the magic happens, as they say. This interior, let's we'll have you hop over to that side. I like cough. Not cough, just clear my throat. So the technology in the LS, some of it's like really cool. Like the seat belts rise to greet you when you open the door, which I can't show now because the car is on. But the seat belts like literally come up to greet you. That's just a fun, quirky detail. And then the head-up display being amazing. This is a big infotainment, and the resolution actually on the screen is pretty darn good. But the way you use it is so finicky and frustrating. And it doesn't have like wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. It does have those things, but they're not wireless. And it doesn't have like a full digital head-up or digital gauge cluster. It's got this digital portion right here, but it's not the most reconfigurable. And so like there are certain tech things that it doesn't really have that its rivals like the S-Class and 7 Series do have. Those are the only things that I think it falls short on, because in terms of like analog comfort, this thing is unmatched. It's so good. And I mean, I've been in S-Classes and I've been in 7 Series, but the ride quality in this is so good. The backseat area, we'll show that because that's pretty cool. Yet another place where like the tech isn't quite up to its rivals. So first of all, even in this seat, which is the one you're supposed to be chauffeured in, because you can move that seat forward and give yourself legroom, this doesn't have like a foot pedestal that comes up, so you can't like lounge fully. These seats don't recline back or anything like that. And this, your entertainment screen here, you can control things like open and close, or like raise and lower the sunshades, and open and close the sunroof cover, and adjust the infotainment, rather, the sound system. But you can't like, doesn't have massaging seats back here. They are heated and ventilated back here, but again, you can't make all those adjustments. So that's one of the other areas where it kind of falls short. But again, just the comfort that is in the Lexus LS is amazing. Next question, Brett.
Next question is, what's the MSRP?
The MSRP of this one, as tested, is $103,240, I believe. Starts at $78,000.
And then
That was from Garrett,
That
right?
was from Garrett. And then Blake asked, is the interior the most unique of any car you can buy today?
It's a good question, Blake. Blake typically asks good questions. I think the interior, so he specifically uses the word unique, not most luxurious or anything like that, because it is very luxurious. This one doesn't have like, there's something you can get on the LS where it will have like this, it's a Japanese style for like interweaving fabric that makes this like knit thing in the door inserts that's pretty wild. And there's like etched glass that you can have for these inserts right here. This model doesn't have those things. With those things, it's definitely one of the most unique vehicles in terms of the interior of any vehicle on sale. It's not wild. I'm trying to think of a more unique cabin of a vehicle that I've been in just off the top of my head. I mean, Rolls Royces are just awesome because everything that you touch is a genuine material. It's like a real metal or a real chunk of wood or something like that. But it's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, Blake.
And then Blake asked another question, LS 500 or G90?
Yeah, so the G90 from Genesis, that's a competitor in this segment. Value for money, G90 is pretty awesome. I don't know its starting figure off the top of my head, but I know it's cheaper than all of the competitors, including the S-Class and 7 Series and this one. The G90 looks pretty awesome. I think I'd probably have the G90 because they've started to address certain things with their tech that at first wasn't amazing, and now it's just getting better and better. I was just in the GV80, and their tech's getting really, really good. I think I'd probably have the G90 and save a few extra thousand, but you're asking a person who's not rich, so that's my perspective. Now we're probably getting into the YouTube questions, right?
Yeah.
All right, so thanks, guys, for you who are tuning in on YouTube for your patience as we get to this stuff.
Jose Hernandez asked, what's the top speed?
Top speed of this one is 104. That's a good question. I was about to answer it with a car that I was just reviewing yesterday. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's like limited to 130 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure it's limited to 130. That's just off the top of my head. But we can show the engine. 136. I was pretty close, Brett, with this like clutch lookup of the top speed. 136 miles an hour. So I was close. I was going to say 140, and then I said 130. We're in the middle, 136-ish. All right, let's pop the hood and show the engine while we're getting to the next question. Because a big safety stand like this, you may think it's powered by a V8, but it's not. It's a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6. But let me tell you, the power and smoothness of this engine really makes you think it's a V8. But look at all this plastic. Like, they don't show really any of the engine. They put some little details on the engine cover, but like a twin turbo badge, but they don't really show much of the engine. So 3.5-liter twin turbo V6 makes 416 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque, connected to a 10-speed automatic gearbox. Your choice of rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This one right here is rear-wheel drive. 0 to 60 is 4.8 seconds, and as we found out, top speed is 136.
The Larson family asked, what car would you pick over that one in that class?
In this class, oh man, it's a great question. I think my favorites, although I haven't driven the brand new S-Class, I've been in it, I have not driven it. There's something about the S-Class that's like, if you're going big on a big estate, a big luxury sedan, then the S-Class, with the tech that it has, with the like Blitz style, might be the one I'd choose. What do you think, Brett? What would you pick? Would you go 7 Series? Would you go S-Class? Would you go this? Would you go G90?
I think I'd go S-Class.
S-Class? Yeah. All right, so
that's like the pinnacle of luxury sedan.
Sedan, yeah. Apart from like a Rolls Royce Phantom, like you're talking S-Class. So I think that would be the one I'd choose. I will be driving the new S-Class next month, by the way. So stay tuned for that. We got like all the doors open right now.
Tuxedo Black Hat asked, is it reliable?
It is a Toyota Motor North America product, Lexus brand being beneath Toyota. So yes, it is very reliable. That engine right up there that you saw is probably not going to exhibit any issues. We didn't show the back end, so let's show the back a little bit. It's probably not going to exhibit any issues for a number of years. And if you take care of Toyota Lexus products, they just keep lasting. So yes, it's very reliable. LS products, they're like mid-90s LS products that are still on the road, still going with like 1 million miles. So yeah, it's going to be reliable.
Ivana Espinoza asks, how does the sound system compare to its rivals?
The Mark Levinson 23-speaker, 2400 watt sound system in this one is great. It's so good. I don't have it synced up, I don't think, via Bluetooth right now, so I can't like blast music for a while, but it's a great sound system. I am not an audiophile, so I can't pick out the various things, the pitch and see, I don't know. I honestly know the tones. I just know that the sound quality is excellent and the bass hits hard and the treble is very high. So yeah, it's got a great range, crystal clear sound.
Elijah Martinez asks, what's the miles per gallon?
Miles per gallon is 21 combined for this. So 27 highway, 19 city, 21 combined.
And then there's actually a few people that want to hear the exhaust.
Oh, you want to hear the exhaust? All right, well, let's go back.
I feel like that's a typical luxury sedan, pretty quiet.
Yeah, pretty quiet. I did like that it bangs off the red line. It's not. It's not. Like the red line is 6250 or whatever, and it soft limits you to 4500. But it's like sounds cool. It's like flipping up there. That's cool.
Tuxedo Black Cat asked, is it easy to drive or is it hard to drive depending on how the pedals feel?
I'm gonna hopefully interpret that correctly. I'm just gonna answer the first part of what you said. It's very easy to drive. It is a very long vehicle again, so you have to be careful not to like shortchange something, but it does have rear wheel steering, and so the turning radius is awesome in this car. And I think that's about time. That's cue for us to go drive. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're not my wife. So let's start in normal mode. And then it's got this kind of diminutive little shifter lever here. And it does feel pretty good quality. It's covered in leather. That's good. And then I hope you can run into traffic so I can like open and close the windows for you so you can like hear how quiet it is inside, the difference. If not, just watch my POV ride or POV drive. So very smooth, works its way really cleanly through the 10 speeds. And then we'll just give a bit of acceleration here as we go out. So that's another thing, it's got cross traffic going on in front of you, and then it beeps at you and shows you like an arrow with the direction that the traffic is coming on the head-up display, which is cool. Like it actually moves.
That's not bad.
Brett, you should see Brett was like, it actually does move.
I was expecting slower.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. No, it's pretty quick. So, yeah, it's got some pep for sure. 416 horsepower, so it's not slow. It does kind of feel like a V8 in that way. And again, the smoothness of the engine really makes you feel like a V8 because more cylinders, more smoothness as you're driving the vehicle. So that's definitely comes across. And then yeah, these seats are so comfortable. We both can have massages. So you hit this button here, and then you go into the infotainment and select what you want. So we'll give you a refresh. So Brett's gonna get his